been swallowed up? Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of...
The conversation begins with a reflective and almost poetic statement about being overwhelmed or consumed by circumstances, questioning whether others have experienced similar moments of being swallowed up or going through periods of intense difficulty. This sets a tone of introspection amid the chaos of public scandals. The discussion quickly pivots to tangible pieces of evidence in ongoing controversies, specifically mentioning a USB drive in Kim Porter's burner phone, which are purported to contain incriminating information. Additionally, an alleged email has surfaced detailing a wide array of accusations that extend to prominent figures like T.D. Jakes. The speaker expresses skepticism about the presence of someone like Jakes at a party hosted by Diddy, describing such events as environments filled with sinful activities, including drinking, fornication, and possibly other illicit behaviors. There are claims from multiple male escorts who allegedly confirm that T.D. Jakes engaged in sexual encounters with men at Diddy's parties and even during travels abroad. In response to these hypothetical truths, the speaker notes that sincere repentance from the heart would be the only necessary action if any of it were proven. Shannon Sharpe has recently generated significant controversy through his bold and probing interviews on his platform, featuring high-profile guests and delving into sensitive topics that have earned both praise and criticism. His latest target appears to be T.D. Jakes, a well-known pastor and motivational speaker. The tension between Sharpe and Jakes has escalated, drawing widespread attention. Sharpe has leveled serious allegations against Jakes in these interviews, approaching them with rigorous scrutiny that has left Jakes feeling invaded and concerned about the potential harm to his reputation and professional life. Jakes has publicly expressed his frustration with Sharpe's approach, viewing it as overly aggressive and detrimental to the legacy he has built over years of ministry. The association between Jakes and Sean Diddy Combs has come under heavy scrutiny following a major lawsuit against Diddy. The suit, filed by former producer Rodney "Lil Rod" Jones, seeks $30 million and includes grave accusations of criminal conduct and misconduct. The speaker speculates that if Bishop Jakes attended a Diddy party, there could only be limited explanations for his presence, perhaps greeting him casually or attempting to minister. Footage has emerged showing Jakes at a lavish birthday celebration for Diddy in 2022, sparking questions about the depth of their relationship. Jakes has been actively working to separate himself from Diddy to safeguard his image, highlighting the challenges of maintaining a clean public persona when linked to someone embroiled in scandal. Their connection was professional at one point, involving discussions of a potential series on Revolt TV, but Diddy's recent divestment from the network has complicated matters further, fueling additional speculation. Sharpe defends his interviewing style, explaining that he approaches guests without judgment or preconceived notions, allowing them to open up freely. He recalls not anticipating the massive impact of certain episodes and always asking guests if there are topics they wish to avoid. He believes stories can be told positively without negativity, but if a guest chooses to share something revealing, he won't suppress it. One example involves an actress who was offered a role in the show Empire but lost it due to being labeled difficult, with audio evidence pointing to a man's influence in that decision, costing her family opportunities without accountability. Comedian Cat Williams appeared on Sharpe's show and launched a scathing attack on Jakes, portraying him as someone who has crafted a false persona. This amplified Sharpe's investigative focus. Another comedian, Lavelle Crawford, contributed with humorous yet pointed comments about Jakes' ties to Diddy, touching on underlying issues even if intended as comedy. A sermon by Jakes employing unusual language and shifting toward more inclusive perspectives on sexuality has drawn backlash, marking a departure from his traditional stance and further eroding his standing. Rumors about Jakes' personal life, particularly regarding his sexuality and the consistency of his teachings, have persisted, gaining traction especially in connection with Diddy. The speaker reflects on societal double standards. Associating with the elite makes one seem arrogant, while helping those in need is criticized as inappropriate. Growing up, there was a clear separation between sinners and saints in church settings. Crawford is quoted mocking the idea of a holy figure like Jakes at a party rife with sin, fornication, same-sex activities, and other excesses, sarcastically suggesting he might be there to pray or save souls. Under mounting pressure from revelations, Jakes reportedly stepped down from his pastoral role, a devastating blow to his career and integrity. The fallout has severely impacted his public trust, and he particularly resents Sharpe for amplifying the criticism and exposing vulnerabilities, seeing it as a form of betrayal. The ongoing feud continues to captivate audiences, with potential new developments threatening both men's livelihoods. It's a high-stakes conflict involving personal and professional intricacies, leaving public opinion divided on accountability. On Club Shay Shay, Williams aimed to disrupt the industry algorithmically, initially drafting a vicious takedown, but softening it to jabs that signaled deeper knowledge. He claims to have rejected $50 million offers multiple times to preserve his integrity, alluding to Diddy's persistent invitations to party. He predicts exposure for various figures in 2024, implying that lies will surface regardless of status. Williams' interview gained millions of views for calling out Hollywood's underbelly, suggesting careers advance through compromise involving debauchery, sodomy, pedophilia, or rituals. Lawsuits followed his warnings, with allegations that figures like Lucien Grange had inappropriate relations with Diddy and that Universal Music knew about the parties. Diddy allegedly recorded everything via hidden cameras, potentially holding compromising material over celebrities like LeBron James or Ashton Kutcher, who praised his events publicly. This could explain silence from those involved, fearing exposure of infidelity or other acts. Williams, once dismissed as unstable, now seems vindicated as allegations align with lawsuits. The discussion explores whether stars face sexual compromises for fame, drawing parallels to Harvey Weinstein's unchecked power. Williams positions himself as following a heroic code. He starts critiquing Tyler Perry, joking about his inability to portray men convincingly, but reveals Diddy's team financed Perry's early films, organized premieres, and provided VIP access. Perry reportedly owns a former military base turned studio following examples set by others, but Williams refuses similar paths, famously avoiding dresses and roles. He questions why Perry, a billionaire with his own studio, continues cross-dressing in content when established actors like Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel Washington do not. Allegations surface that Perry warned actors against associating with certain people due to party sightings, and concerns are raised about friends changed after working with him. Ricky Smiley's career is linked to Diddy's exclusive Atlanta parties, where connections led to radio and TV success. Williams insists Smiley performs best in feminine roles and contractually required him to dress as such in future projects, which reportedly happen. Smiley denies stealing roles, but Williams maintains his version, highlighting industry patterns. Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer face accusations of idea theft, with their Diddy collaborations at charity events strengthening ties in a hidden power network. An event gathering comedians buzz with anticipation about Williams' arrival, underscoring his influence. Media coverage of Diddy's personal life, like photos with Lori Harvey Steve's stepdaughter, speculates on relationships and blessings from family. Even religious spheres intersect, with Jake speaking at Diddy-sponsored gospel events, blending entertainment and faith under questionable motives. Williams positions Jake's for major exposure, illustrating Diddy's reach into diverse areas. Ludacris is tied to Illuminati conspiracies for his lucrative deals, with Williams recounting a ritualistic choice involving hair and money that he rejected. He debunks Illuminati as a joke, but uses it to critique dress wearing as humiliation rituals in entertainment. Justin Combs faced accusations of parties with minors, leading to raids but no charges. Court documents, indictments, and statements support claims as trials approach in May 2025. Williams draws from these files to expose Diddy's circle, suggesting participants may have been unwitting or complicit, painting a broad picture of alleged wrongdoing. Expanding on the initial introspection, the idea of being swallowed up mirrors the engulfing nature of these scandals, where reputations are consumed by waves of allegations and evidence. The USB drive and burner phone represent digital artifacts that could unravel narratives, much like the email implicating Jake's in a web of claims. Escort's corroborations add layers of personal testimony, challenging the sanctity of public figures. Repentance as a remedy underscores a theological escape hatched amid secular fallout. Sharpe's platform has become a crucible for truth-telling, where guests' unguarded moments ripple outward unpredictably. His non-judgmental stance invites vulnerability, but the consequences, career shifts, public backlash, were unforeseen. The Empire role anecdote illustrates how whispers and labels derail lives without recourse, emphasizing accountability gaps in power dynamics. Williams' appearance was a bombshell, dismantling facades with precision. His dress commentary isn't mere humor, but a symbol of emasculation for advancement. Crawford's jests, while light, probe discomfort with holy-unholy mingling. Jakes' sermon shift signals adaptation or revelation, fueling sexuality debates tied to Diddy proximity.